In this quick demo, we'll review how to provision FortiWeb with Let's Encrypt certificates. To simplify the process of obtaining and provisioning certificates for HTTPS, SSL, TLS connections, FortiWeb can automatically retrieve and deploy certificates from Let's Encrypt, which is a non-profit certificate authority run by Internet Security Research Group, ISRG, that provides X.509 certificates for transport layer security, TLS, encryption at no charge. This video will guide you through installing a Let's Encrypt certificate on FortiWeb. The specific steps involved may differ based on the verification method Let's Encrypt chose to confirm FortiWeb's authority over your application's domain name. In this session, we'll review the 3 different verification methods. Let's review the first scenario. Before adding a Let's Encrypt certificate, please notice that you must change the DNS entry to map your domain name with FortiWeb's IP address. Since the verification source is United States, make sure you do not have a rule on FortiWeb blocking access from the US. After you choose the HTTP 01 type, Let's Encrypt will send an HTTP request to FortiWeb for validation. When deployed in reverse proxy mode, you must add the HTTP service and use port 80 in the FortiWeb server policy. When deployed in true transparent proxy mode, the backend server must have port 80 enabled. Now let's review the FortiWeb setup. First, navigate to Server Objects, Certificates, Let's Encrypt. Enter certificate name. Enter the domain name of your application. Select type HTTP 01, then click OK. Now let's provision a new server policy. And add the HTTP service using port 80. In certificate type, choose Let's Encrypt and refer the configured Let's Encrypt certificate. Click OK. The next step is to issue the Let's Encrypt certificate. Go back to the Let's Encrypt tab. Click the Issue button to issue HTTP 01 type certificate. The waiting status should change from question mark to green arrow. When the TLS-ALPN method is selected, Let's Encrypt uses HTTPS requests for validation. You must select the HTTPS service in the FortiWeb server policy for this to work. Let's review the FortiWeb configuration. Navigate to Server Objects, Certificates, Let's Encrypt, and create a new certificate. Enter a name for this certificate and the domain name of your application. Select type TLS-ALPN, then click OK. After clicking the OK button, please return to the Let's Encrypt main table page and edit the TLS-ALPN Let's Encrypt certificate. In the subtable, click Create New, input the SAN name, and click OK. FortiWeb supports up to 10 SAN domains. Under Server Objects, Certificate, SNI, create a new SNI. Input the SNI name. Click OK. Click Create New. Input right domain name. Certificate type choose Let's Encrypt. Then refer the TLS-ALPN Let's Encrypt certificate. Click OK. To configure the server policy, refer to SNI, Configure a Server Policy. Enable HTTPS service and ensure we use port 443. Then click the Advanced SSL settings. Edit the policy. Allow server name indication, select SNI policy, and choose Configured SNI. Then click OK. The next step is to issue the Let's Encrypt certificate. Go back to the Let's Encrypt tab. Click the Issue button to issue TLS-ALPN type certificate. The waiting status should change from question mark to green arrow. For use case 3, let's encrypt certificate using DNS 01 without SAN, no SNI verification. The first step is to add a DNS01 type Let's Encrypt certificate, then pre-issue DNS01 type Let's Encrypt certificate to generate DNS content file. Once the content file is generated, download DNS content file to get the DNS record content. Ensure that you update the DNS server with new record content. Then issue the DNS01 type Let's Encrypt certificate and configure the server policy. Refer to the DNS01 type Let's Encrypt certificate. To add a DNS01 type Let's Encrypt certificate, navigate to Certificates, Let's Encrypt, and enter the certificate's name. Enter the application's domain name. Choose DNS01, then click OK to continue. To pre-issue DNS01, type Let's Encrypt certificate to generate DNS content file. Edit the Let's Encrypt certificate you wish to enable. Under the Operation tab, click the Process option and to generate DNS content file. To download the DNS content file, navigate to Certificates, Let's Encrypt, and select the certificate you would like to download. Click the Download option under the DNS content file. Once downloaded, verify that the record name matches. In this demo, we use AWS Route 53 service as public DNS server to update this DNS record. We create a new record and input subdomain name, the same with the DNS file, and choose the record content from the downloaded file and paste it into Route 53 service DNS record content. After creating a new record, we should wait for a while to make sure this new record has been synced to all public servers properly. Once configured, refresh the window. It will change from pending to in sync. Navigate back to Let's Encrypt. Configure page, click the Process button to continue DNS01 type certificate process. And waiting status change from yellow exclamation mark to green arrow. The certificate is issued once the status changes from an up arrow with a green icon. To configure server policy and refer to a DNS01 type encrypt certificate, select the server policy. Navigate to Let's Encrypt. Select the Let's Encrypt certificate from the drop-down menu and click OK. Finally, we will send HTTPS traffic to match the Let's Encrypt certificate's domain name, check if all traffic can pass FortiWeb properly, and use the right Let's Encrypt certificates. Finally, let's verify HTTPS traffic using the Let's Encrypt certificate properly. We will send HTTPS traffic with domain names start with 103 and 101. The 103 is a SAN under Let's Encrypt certificate 102. Firstly, we enabled SNI in server policy. We send HTTPS traffic with capture packets on FortiWeb. Then send traffic to 103. After opening the captured packets, we will see that the Let's Encrypt certificate is 102 and has an alternative subject name with 103. Then we change the server policy configuration, removed SNI, just attached 101 Let's Encrypt certificate in the server policy, and sent traffic to domain 101. After opening the captured packets, the certificate is 101. Then all tests passed. Let's Encrypt feature is now working fine.